This is the Steve Gruber Show.
Well, it certainly is. Thank you for being here, fighting for you from the foxhole of freedom every single day. That's what we do. Who do you want in your foxhole? I mean, if the chips are down, who do you want there? It's incredibly important. Here are three big things you need to know this hour. Number one, there is a new king of beers in America, and not one brewed in Mexico. It's bringing the crown back home. Is it one you like? We'll tell you about it coming up. Number two, Jimmy Kimmel apparently going back on the air tonight so he can get back to getting creamed by Greg Gutfeld on a cable news station. Another brilliant move for the stockholders. Disney. Boy, you guys are like clowns. And number three, in the wake of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, with the FBI running down thousands of leads to see if there's anyone else connected, which, by the way, looks quite possible. There are a number of trans activist social media posts, you know this, appearing to predict the murder in the days leading up to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And others posting things like, we did it, within minutes of it happening. But in the bigger picture, how are the Democrats doing? I mean, honestly. You see people like Keith Olbermann out there, by the way, who's threatening Scott Jennings, apparently. You're next, MFer. But here's the part that I really like. In that same thread, those were deleted. This was not. Now we get the fascists off Real TV. That'd mean your career is next, Jennings. Send a tape to Real America's Voice. Well, gee, Keith, thank you so much for watching. We truly appreciate you being here. Now take your meds and don't play with anything sharp. Please. See, we're compassionate. We care about you, Keith. You see the difference? We are not the same. We don't need meds, and we can play with sharp things safely. But in the bigger picture, how are the Democrats really doing? As many celebrated the murder of Charlie Kirk. I mean, you saw it. They can deny it, but they did. They celebrated. Too many on the left. Democrats are yelling about how they're going to win by a mile in the midterms. Really? Really? What does Harry Anton over at Chicken Noodle News think about that? You know, Harry Anton is an interesting, he's an energetic little fella over at CNN. I actually kind of like him. I'm not going to kid you. I like Harry Anton. He's the poll guy. Here's what he thinks is going to happen. Listen to this.
What do you think?
Yeah, what are we seeing? You know, Donald Trump being underwater, Democrats saying, oh, this guarantees us we're going to fly high in the midterms. Let me tell you, this guarantees you nothing, because at this particular point, the Democrats are the New Orleans Saints of political parties. What are we talking about? Trust the Dems or GOP more on the economy? Who leads on the economy? Republicans by 7. Immigration, Republicans by 13. How about crime, a big issue for Donald Trump and the Republicans? Look at that, lead by 22 points. So the bottom line is this. At this particular point, the ball may be on the ground, but the Democrats have not picked up the ball and running with it. If anything, at this particular point, it's the Republicans who are running with the ball on the top issues, the economy, immigration, and crime.
Give some context on this. Compare this when Republicans last took the House.
Yeah, let's compare it back to 2022. I think this kind of gives away the game right here. Okay, the GOP is more trusted than the Dems on the economy. It was 12 points in 2022. Slight decline in that lead, but still 7 points. How about immigration? It was Republicans by 3 back in 2022. Look at this. The Republican lead's actually gone up by 10 points. What are you doing, Democrats? My goodness gracious. And on crime, the Republicans were up by 13, and now they're up by 22. The lead, again, expanding by nearly double digits. So whatever Democrats are doing, it ain't working, Kate. It ain't working. Republicans have the lead on all three issues.
What?
On all three issues. It ain't working, Kate. It ain't working, Kate. He is an energetic little fella, isn't he? There was more, by the way, for the Democrats to consider in the numbers. By the way, it didn't get any better from there. It in fact, doesn't get any better at all from there for the left. Listen.
Look, it's all about the center of the electorate, right? You win with independents, you win overall. And what do we see right here among independents? Republicans still have a point lead on the economy. They got a 10-point lead on immigration. They got a 21-point lead on crime. The bottom line is, when you look at these numbers, Democrats should call their offices, because at this particular point, even if Republicans, or even if the public doesn't like what Donald Trump is doing, they ain't necessarily liking what Democrats are doing, and it ain't just a referendum on one party. You actually have to go out and beat that party. At this particular point, Democrats are not able to beat Republicans. They still lead on
And again,
the
this
issues.
isn't as Donald Trump came into office. These are numbers from this month.
These are numbers from September of 2025, we still find that the Republicans leading on all three of these issues. And, of course, this economy will be the key. If Democrats are going to win, they're going to have to likely win on the economy. At this particular point among independents, you see that 1-point lead for Republicans. And overall, at least according to the Washington Post, they hold a 7-point lead on the economy overall as well.
Yeah, so they're winning across the board. So you can say, well, Donald Trump is not popular. Okay. You know what's less popular than Donald Trump? Democrats. Socialist and communist policies. Republican leaders getting executed in public for speaking their mind. These things are not popular in America. Go figure. Public assassinations of people talking to college kids, not popular in America. Wow, go figure. It's crazy, right? Meanwhile, the Democrats in the House, 98. There have been two measures recently to condemn political violence. One came after those horrible murders in Minnesota, right, of the state house, former speaker of the state house of Minnesota and a senator. He lived and his wife lived, but the former speaker and her husband died, as you know. And there was a condemnation of political violence. Every Republican voted for it. Every Democrat voted for it. It was unanimous. When there was a condemnation and an observance of Charlie Kirk in the House, 48 Democrats voted against it. 50 more voted present. You see, the Democrats and the Republicans are not the same. And Hakeem Jeffries cannot answer why his party is failing at every turn. He just dodges the question. And his leadership, if you want to call it that, part of the problem. Listen.
62% of the Democrats want to see the leadership of your party replaced. Do these sorts of polls make you rethink your approach at all? How do you view this?
Well, I think I understand why people all across the country, not just Democrats, are disturbed by what has been happening in this country and the extremism that has been unleashed on the American people. And we are in what I have referred to often as a more is more environment. We just have to continue to do more, to aggressively push back against the Trump administration and push back in a manner consistent with American values. More town hall meetings, more protests, more demonstrations, more speeches on the House floor, more speeches on the Senate floor, more hearings that are led by Democrats on the Hill, off the Hill, of course, more site visits throughout the country, standing up in defense of the American people, standing up in defense of law-abiding immigrant communities.
I'm sorry, what? Is he still talking? Whew, powerful stuff there. Oh. All right, well, I'm going to take a break. Judge Phil Ginn will be here, president of the Southern Evangelical Seminary. A martyr for truth, Charlie Kirk, up next.